Welcome to Forever Exiled. I'm Justin, aka Tags.
My name's T-Bone.
T-Bone.
Well, that's actually what my mom named me, but you can call me Tyler.
Aw, so cute. Episode 324. I think that's what it was, because I think it was going to be 333, but it was 323. Yeah. So 324.
Last week was palindrome.
324 and a Merry Christmas episode. This is our Christmas episode, so there you go. Big shout out to our patrons. Thanks everybody who resubbed up this week. Patreon gets access to our After Dark. It's our podcast after the podcast. We keep going, we keep talking, and we appreciate your support. But yes, Merry Christmas, everybody.
We do. And yeah.
Or holiday, whatever you celebrate, but Merry Christmas from me.
Happy family vacation time.
That's right. Happy time off
if you
work.
And I hope you don't have to spend too much time with family unless you like them. Hopefully not too much. And that's immediate and extended.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of situations.
Obviously.
Most importantly, though, hopefully you get a lot of Path of Exile time in. Squeeze in, be like the best family, significant friend, other person ever, so that you can play like 6 hours straight of PoE that evening guilt-free.
What was the ding dong for?
Don't, Justin, don't. I put my phone on D&D. Don't.
I'm just
Aaron
curious.
and I are talking about how crappy this coffee is. So we got we've been looking for
awesome.
an area rug forever.
Hold on. I just want to say, you just talked about the two of you talking about how crappy the coffee is, and now you're talking about getting an area rug?
And this is, you know how concussed and foggy my brain is.
I
will
I'm
not
checking.
lose track of this.
Okay.
This is I hate this.
Yeah.
So Aaron and I have been looking for an area rug for forever. Our last one we got at Costco ages ago, but I hate paying money to shop somewhere. Like Costco, paying a membership to shop somewhere, and then it's like the crappiest service, crappiest selection, and it's still too much for us. I mean, then we were family of two, now we're family of four,
sure.
But whatever. It's like things would go bad, so we'd end up wasting half the money we spend. You think you're going to spend $400 on groceries, and you come out with $900 because of all the we could probably use this kind of plug-in and stuff like that.
That's
so
why I don't go to Costco. But yes, I agree with
we
you.
stopped going to Costco. We went to Superstore or Walmart, whatever worked, right? Played the game, wherever was cheapest. So, but anyway, we're looking for area rugs, and we looked for 2 years after our last area rug wasn't worth having anymore. We looked for 2 years for a nice 8x10 that suited our house. We're looking at close to $1,000 where we live. It was even just something plain and stupid. It was all dumb. So anyway, I find something on Amazon or at Walmart ages ago, and it's $60. I'm like, it's coming home. I don't care if she likes it or not. We've looked long enough. She'll, not in a bad way, but she'll deal with it. She knows.
Learn to love it
forever. Anyway, I bring it home, and it feels like one of those outdoor mats that you scratch your shoes on to get the crap off. I'm like, oh, it didn't feel like that in the store. So we return it, and she asks why, and I'm like, because it's not an indoor mat, it's an outdoor mat. So give me my money back. And we keep looking, and I find one on Amazon a few weeks later, and I'm like, sweet, okay, awesome. I can't believe it's only $150 compared to the 850 rugs. And so we're looking, and I buy it. It comes. You're not allowed to vacuum it. I didn't even know that was. I didn't even look to see that. I didn't even know that existed. That there was a rug you could. It was. It said if it gets dirty.
Would he spot dry it or something like what?
Right. You just slowly pick off the stuff. I'm yeah, it did.
I could tell you why it was
but not even, obviously not even in the proper grammar of English. It was in completely broken English. All instructions seem to come in these days.
Right though.
It was. And our vacuum, our Dyson, we tried 100 different ways. None of our extensions could work on it. It was because I don't know what it was, but it was light enough. It wasn't strong enough that it couldn't stay down. It was we actually sucked up.
Oh, because it would suck into it. Oh, interesting.
We couldn't. So I never even thought there were area rugs or carpets that you could not vacuum. I didn't even know that was a thing. That's the dumbest thing in the world. That's what a vacuum is for. And when you create rugs, it's you have to create the vacuum at the same time, right? That's probably how it happened. So anyway, we tolerated that for forever, but eventually that just got we tried to clean it. We tried to do it, but it was just too much crap. So I'm like, man, let's just throw that $150 down the drain. We tried it. It felt nice to lie on until, of course, it was gross. And so we hucked it in the garbage. We've been trying to find an area rug now for years, basically. And we remember the last time we bought our area rug was at this dumbass place called Costco, where you actually have to, like, you get the crappiest service, the crappiest selection, the crappiest
you
quantity.
Don't like it. Yeah.
And you have to pay to shop there, which is ridiculous. I'm like, you know what? Paying for 1 year of Costco and going in to get one of their 8x10 area rugs is cheaper than just going somewhere else. So let's do it. And so we do. We get this area rug. It's ugly. And we don't care. We can vacuum it. We can vacuum it every day. It's fantastic. And now that we're sometimes shopping at Costco and sometimes shopping at Superstore and sometimes shopping at Walmart based on what we want. I mean, Costco has 2 things, Justin. Cheap Parmesan, cheap taco seasoning, and cheap agave.
Okay.
So whenever that's on the list, that's where we go. And then if there's something else we need to top up, that's when we do it too. And this has been an extremely riveting conversation, but I would like to let you know.
Coffee comes into this still.
So now, okay, coffee's on the shopping list. Okay, so we get our ground coffee, right? So that we can put it into our maker and we make our coffee. Costco's version, and remember, like I've emphasized now, Costco does not have options. You want a ground dark roast coffee, you can have the Kirkland brand or whoever pays to be there.
Sure.
Well, that whoever pays to be there is an outrageous price because they want you to buy Kirkland. I compare the prices. The Kirkland price is a little bit cheaper than Superstore. So we buy this massive thing because that's what Costco is of Kirkland coffee. And it is nasty. Like, I'm the kind of person where it's like, if I go to a restaurant and I ask for coffee, I know it's going to be crappy, but it's just crappy because it's not good. It's not crappy because it's disgusting. You know what I mean? It's just not a good cup of coffee. It's not a horrible cup of coffee. I can't drink this Costco coffee. Like, it actually tastes like it's gone wrong and it's bad.
Take it back.
It is so nasty. Do you know what that means? That means going to Costco.
I'm aware. I wouldn't do it. I'm just saying it's an option.
That parking lot is huge and it is always packed.
Yep.
There are so many idiots that I have to tolerate going in with, they're parking in the middle. There's these dumb long lineups. They're arguing that they want a new membership card because they don't like the picture on it.
I just assumed that was always you in the line.
I, shut your face, am not going to Costco in, like, it's December 19th. I don't even want to go at like June 17th.
Yeah.
I'm not going to Costco.
So you're drinking the coffee?
Well, Aaron's probably found some artsy fartsy way to save it, but I said we can throw it out. And I'm the cheapest.
Just do something in gardens or something. Is coffee a thing? It's like keep a deer away or something. I don't know. That's hair.
No, you just piss on it. That's what you do. You just piss on your hydrangeas. No, I'll find something. But anyway, that's the thing. I have the grossest cup of coffee here, Justin. It is December 19th, and I have one drink to look forward to that I'm allowed to have. I'm not supposed to drink. Sometimes I do. It's fine.
Yeah.
I know the consequences of it, I guess you could say, with all my health restrictions. Coffee's the one thing I have to look forward to. And right now it's a wonderful mug my wife gave me. It's, have you ever seen White Christmas?
Yeah, I know you like it. I've never watched it.
Yeah. Well, it is actually quite funny for the times. The times. Remember, it's dated now, right? But Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye staring at me as sisters, and I get all happy and warm inside, and then I take a sip. Listen to this. Oh,
yum.
It's supposed to be like the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. Well, that definitely does not taste like a crappy cup of Folgers.
So I'm going to ask you how your week was. I love that was because you got a notification. We found out.
Merry Christmas, Justin.
I still don't understand the rug. Was that because was that to give me the direction and understanding of why you have a Costco membership? Is that what the rug is?
No, Aaron and I are deciding what to do with this coffee. There's still like half a container of like 8 billion gallons of coffee left. I guess you don't measure grounds in gallons. I don't know, whatever Americans do. Ounces. Ounces, that's American, right?
A liter of cola.
See, listen, I don't like throwing away stuff. I can use coffee for a bunch of different things.
What can coffee be used for? I want to know.
I don't know, throwing it in the compost.
Well, now I'm excited.
Anyway, Merry Christmas to all and to all. It's December 19th, man.
I know. How was your week?
Next time we talk, you're going to have either failed or succeeded at your kid's Christmas. How was your week?
My week was, it was fine. It was okay. So we had a standard every year we do it. We have our tankless system, water system, and our furnace serviced. It's part of a membership we pay for. And
oh, right. Yep.
it all got, we had a servicing done on Monday. And I was feeling great on Monday. I got up, I let them in, then I left to go to my office. And then I get a phone call an hour later and find out that the heat exchanger has got holes and a couple tears, like actual breaks in the heat exchanger. And
more carbon dioxide poisoning that you miraculously survived.
That we didn't die from. Yeah. So, long story.
Did you just get that though?
11 years ago. We had
11. You switched to tankless.
No, not the tankless is fine. The furnace is where the heat exchanger was cracked. Oh. So even 11 years though for a furnace is way too soon for that to happen. But just there's whatever the static pressure in our house and just unlucky, I guess, even though we've had it serviced every single year. And they did say that they saw, I guess, rust starting last year, which I don't remember them telling me that. But then this year it was.
That's quite the erosion.
Yeah. So
it must be that you like to have it at 85 degrees Celsius in your house.
Listen, in wintertime, it just sits at 19 to 20. I leave it at 19 to 20.
Really?
Yeah, but in summertime, I'm like minus 18 or as low as I can get this thing. Anyway, yeah. So, but the thing though is I got a call and they were basically, yeah, sorry, we've had to turn it off. We can't turn it back on legally. And I was like, okay, you don't get to hold a gun to my head and then say, we'll do it if you spend this money or this is your solution. So anyway, I drove home, said to him, this is my house. Show me how it works in case I ever wanted to turn it back on. But the fact was I was going to have to get something fixed. And the option was to either replace it and try to make a semi-fix to the furnace, which would cost me just slightly under half of what putting in a new furnace would cost.
Yeah, that was the same decision we did last
and it would take 2 weeks before they could get it back, which meant that potentially either being stressed about are the carbon monoxide detectors working, which I know they will, or having no furnace turned on for 2 weeks because that's how long the part would take versus the new furnace was put in the next day. So Tuesday I had a new furnace. The whole day they were here putting in a new furnace, which sucks because it's freaking Merry Christmas. I would love
to see your quotes and what versions they offered you, because you and I use the same company and I got probably the same paper with the same 3 quotes. I'm curious what you were offered.
Yeah, we should compare it afterwards. What happened in mine is I know the owner and I called and was like, look, I understand your guys' situation with this, but it is not cool to turn my shit off and then say your only option to fix it is to pay money. Like I get it. You don't want to get in trouble if we die, but if I've got the stuff in my house, I said to him, I'm like, I woke up this morning happy. My house was heated. Everything was fine.
I had the perfect amount of carbon dioxide in my system.
The day was going fine. And had we not had it serviced, we wouldn't know. Now, I appreciate them finding it because obviously we don't want to have a problem down the road. And at least we could plan for this one. But I was said to him, I'm like, I will never have you service my house again in December. Like you can come in September or you can come in January. But like we're a week from Christmas and now I got to spend a boatload of money.
Yeah.
So yeah, my week was that and work has been so effing busy, but it's been really good. Kids are doing well. We did Christmas concerts and end of school this week and
right. Yeah.
Freaking bunch of bums.
You sent a picture of me of my kid at the Christmas concert you went to. And I, being a wonderful friend, sent a picture of, I only took one, but it took 2, but I only sent you one. Okay.
Yeah.
Of your kid at my kid's Christmas concert. We're good friends.
Your kids, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So it was fun. The kids are finished today for Christmas and we're pretty close to ready. So nice. We'll probably have to record it possibly a little bit later tonight because we're going to finish a couple things after.
Yeah. Actually, you bring up a good point. I was thinking about this, but then I forgot about it. So thank you for reminding me. Today's my last day without kids for wrapping gifts.
Same for me. Yeah. I'm in the same boat. I was trying to do it this week and I was like, just leave me alone, someone. Like my phone wouldn't, it was annoying. That being said,
that's funny.
I'm not the primary rapper. I suck at rapping.
It's funny. My wife has been surprisingly nice to me the last couple of months. And so this was a friendly conversation that we had. And she was saying that I'm not normally involved in Christmas stuff. And, things have been good. So I've been like, It's not that I don't want to be involved in Christmas stuff. Like there's some things in a relationship where permissions aren't appropriate. Like, yes, you can or can't do this. But then there's other times where it's like, yes, you can or can't do this based on, I don't know, like, you know, if I want to go bowling with my buddies and she's like, no, we haven't hung out in like 3 weeks. Don't you dare go bowling with your buddies. Makes sense, right? One thing that I have not been allowed to do is wrap gifts. Decorate
Some people,
the house,
is that because she likes
Christmas
wrapping
trees.
gifts?
Well, yeah, and
Some
very
people
strict
do
on
like-
like not strict, but like so
Particular.
ingrained in like personal preferences and traditions and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But to the point now where it actually has turned into something where it's not even discussed. It's just she
This
does
is
it,
what we do.
I don't.
Sure.
And so maybe she forgot that that's the way things used to be.
Hmm.
And maybe it hasn't been that way for a long time, but I just assumed it was. So
Listen, if
I
you can
get
take
to
a back
wrap
seat,
gifts
I
this
say
year.
take a back seat. Oh, is that a good thing for you? Because that seems like torture to me.
No, it's
You like
all
that?
good. It's all good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. No, I enjoy it. The gift wrapping part, yes. Well, hang on. Earmuffs for family members listening to this.
Christmas time
Are
talk.
we 18A mature? What's it? What's
we
the
are
actual?
considered explicit.
All right.
Christmas time
Anyway.
talk. That's all we're going to say. Go ahead.
5,
You've been warned.
4, 3, 2, 1. She does the stocking wrapping, which
Mhm.
comes from Santa, and it has to be different wrapping paper. And this
Mhm.
year's the year where my daughter is going to set up a camera
Oh, cute.
focused at the stockings to
That's
see if
awesome.
Santa's real or not.
Mhm.
And she's totally ready to not believe, and she's totally ready to keep on believing. She's
Yeah, yeah.
actually really curious.
Yeah.
But she told us, she's like, if it's you guys, don't pretend it's not.
Mhm.
Right. So she's going to set up a camera, and I'm like, hey, love, like, you don't have 8 hours of space for video
On the
on your
thing, sure.
camera. So
Yeah,
do you want us to like, we'll hit it at a certain time and then we'll stop it at a certain time for you.
Yeah.
So Aaron and I, this year, we're actually planning on, we're giggling about how we're going to be in the video camera.
Oh, you're going to be
But
it?
anyway,
Awesome.
Aaron's like I said last week, Aaron's the stocking lady.
Mhm.
So like that's her thing. That's her tradition. So she's going to individually wrap every bloody thing except for like the Hershey's Kisses,
Mhm.
which probably one of the most marvelous marketing things. Like talk about a chocolate that you just can't be without at Christmas where we're from.
Is a Hershey's Kiss one of them for you? Oh, you mean just they're
No,
everywhere?
it's
or
just
what?
one of those things. Like if you say like it's one of those things where it's like you say like a chocolate, but a kiss chocolate, you know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
To the part where they can even just wrap it different, like a Grinch version, and you're like, that's cool. I'm getting that. I don't know. It's just,
Yeah.
it's one of those things. It's one of those marketing things. Like I'm big into marketing and I love those books and stuff. And
Do you have like
Anyway.
a Christmassy treat snack type thing that you like? Like for me, it's toffee phase or toff. I don't know how you even say them, but those
sure,
toffee phase.
toffees.
No, it's like the
I-
actual toffee phase. It's called toffee, TOFFIFBE or something. They sell it in a box. Freaking
Yeah,
amazing.
it's just because you're fancy and expensive. I used to enjoy stuff, but I have a lot
I
of
used to enjoy
restrictions now.
stuff. There's the
Yeah, I
best
used to
line
have
ever.
fun.
Yeah,
I
it
used to
used
be
to be
allowed
fun.
to enjoy smiling.
Yeah, I guess what I get. Can you even have fun?
No, I think
No.
the thing that I used to really like before my dietary restrictions kicked in it was eggnog. I just loved eggnog.
Oh, can you not have what is that? Well, I don't like eggnog, but what's the stuff in there that you can't eat?
Oh, it's just loaded with milk. I mean, it's egg,
Oh.
but it's just loaded with
You
milk.
can eat
and dairy.
eggs though, right?
I can. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's just that used to be my thing. But then I married into a family where if the eggnog's not 99% alcohol, it's not eggnog.
Mm.
So I got, you know how like you can be shamed for stuff in our culture, but like to the point where it's like you shouldn't even be shamed for this, but shaming's just part of the culture. So you're just
Sure.
going to get shamed for it anyway.
Okay.
The shame I got
When you
for
just
liking liking eggnog that wasn't 99%
Mm.
alcohol. Oh, I actually thought there was something wrong with me for a while.
well,
Nah, it's all good, man. Life is great. And
Sweet.
I'm glad life is good for you too. We should have a gift wrapping party.
eesh.
Mix
Okay.
up our gifts, see what the kids think of what my son and daughter want.
What do we got? POE this week.
A big one. This is week
What?
1.
This is Are we only a week into the league? Wow.
Yeah, but if you click on this week in
I'm just
PoE, there's
checking
like
it, yeah.
no links, but that's because under the patch notes, I just gave you the
I see
link
that.
to patch
So
notes.
many. Oh, because
I
they
was
had
like,
hot fixes
there's
like
like
crazy.
40. Yeah, and good on
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
But there's another part of me where I'm like, okay, a lot of this stuff is like the really brand new stuff, and it's not all balanced stuff. Like, it's another one of those things going back even a few episodes where I'm like, this really does seem rush. Like, if
So
you
I
have way too
disagreed
many
with you.
things.
When you said that, well, not disagreed, I thought differently. But because you had said that, you said that you felt like it seemed like it was rushed, and I was like, I don't think that they were rushed. I am recanting slightly what I said because
Slightly.
yeah. I don't disagree with you anymore.
Well, but when you look at what these patch notes are, it's all about the new stuff. And sure, like the league requires balance. Anybody that's played PoE for multiple leagues, which I guess now you're an experienced player because a couple leagues ago, Path of Exile 1's league lasted over a year. So anyone who's used to prior to all of this kerfuffle, like leagues just come out unbalanced or overpowered and whatever. Like we're used to it as PoE players, but a lot of the other stuff, it was much more than balance. It was just functionality, right? Even like you and I talking about being unable to do this in co-op, right?
Mm-hmm.
Day one. But like in June, a year and a half ago, they paid for people to come all the way across the world to LA to sit on couches. Point being, like, there was a big focus on co-op.
Yeah.
There is a big focus on playing together, whether that's 1% of your market or not. Like, that is a huge part of your marketing, right? Like, this game is going to be for way more people than it used to be, way more family situations, way more other, like everything. Mm-hmm. So just like, there's just a whole bunch of stuff that just seem to, again, like you said, emphasize a little bit more of the rushed thing. Whatever, it's beta, right? And we know it's beta. One thing, I was laughing when I loaded the game up. This is completely irrelevant to anything, but you keep talking about how on PC, nothing shows that it's early access or game preview or anything like that. When I load the game on Xbox, in the title, it's Path of Exile 2 game preview. That's what it says. That's the title of the game. Yeah. And then I load the game in the top left the entire time, unless I'm actually in gameplay, it says game preview.
So why does that not exist
on the
in
splash
PC?
screen,
I have no idea.
Right, where you're supposed to hit A to get your character selection, where it says the patch number, it says blah, 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 patch number, game preview. It is everywhere.
See, mine says the patch, but it doesn't. I don't think it says early access. I don't think it does. I really don't think it does. It's crazy to me how little they have on that. And the funny thing is how much leeway that could give you if you did.
So
you know
much.
what I mean?
I had a phenomenal week. It was a normal, frustrating Path of Exile experience with a lot of really fun times, right? The usual, right? Sure. Whether it was full release or not. But because game preview was stamped.
You know.
Don't hide those thighs. No to rise. Where's that from? The League. What's his name? Taco. All right. Don't hide those thighs. No to rise. Anyway, stamped game preview. I'm like, this was great. I had a great week. Mm-hmm. You on PC.
No.
Right. No. You don't have the game stamp of game preview.
Yeah,
Not saying it has to be fun because it's game preview, but there's a bit of that like expectation. And if you remember 100%. After, it doesn't change the in the moment stuff, right?
I almost quit Path of Exile this week. I did play. I didn't. It's not like I had a ton. Well, so that was that was actually a big part. Drinking your coffee.
I forgot it was crappy coffee.
That was actually a reason why I think I was so affected and so bothered by Path of Exile, was because my time to play video games this week was massively restricted. I was so busy. I wanted to play. Yeah. I cannot stand that I try to play Path of Exile and I leave feeling like I absolutely wasted time. I don't like that feeling. And where I got stuck in that was Ascending. I was trying to get the third Ascension, and I had gone out and I had made sure I had the right relic. So I have my 75%, but like, it's so frustrating to play melee in Path of Exile 2. And it feels like with the Ascending part, I get that there will be people who will comment, because Tyler and I have gotten it since the beginning of time. Just get good. Your build sucks, blah, blah, blah. It's easy. I didn't have any problem with it, which fine. That can be your opinion, but fuck off. I don't want to spend half an hour to fail. And in Sekima, you actually aren't gaining anything through that time. Like if I don't complete the ascension, it's not like I walked away with like half an hour's worth of map currency and loot or what. Like I actually have wasted 20 to 30 minutes of my time. It's gone.
Do you lose XP? Like, do you gain and lose?
Well,
I guess it depends on what you're going for, whether it's the third or fourth
so
one.
Yes, you do get XP. And I mean, if you die, it's over anyway, because your run's done, right? Because your honor would drop to 0.
But I don't mean to diminish, because if all you're getting is XP, sure, XP is XP, but at the end of the day, and it may be relics, but at the end of the day, everywhere else, you're getting XP and the potential of drops.
Of something else. And the part that was just so frustrating is it's such a key part to planning a build. Like I know that I personally have bitched about this for a long time. I know Tyler doesn't like it. Ascending is not fun in Path of Exile 2. It is just not an enjoyable process. I took Logan through helping him respec his druid, so I helped him run through the second ascension so that he could get it done. But like,
he was really cute. It was nice talking to him at the school the other day.
Oh, really? Yeah, he was very excited to talk to you about Path of Exile.
I wish I could have talked to him longer. Please apologize to him if you felt like it was a curt ending, because it wasn't.
I told him that's Tyler. Tyler just doesn't like you.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
He knows that's not true. That's what I was frustrated with my build. I had looked at some options. I knew that ascending would help. And what really bothered me is I had the ascension things. They were level 70 and 73. So that's the monster level is going to be 70 to 73. And I think when I had first tried it, I think I was like 73 or 74. And then I did end up coming back. So I raged. I messaged you. I was pissed. I did come back and try it. And I decided I was going to try some bigger changes. But the idea that in my head, I went, oh, I'm 78. I don't know if I'm high enough level to do it. And then I started thinking, I'm like, this is the third ascension. Like in Path of Exile 1, I did that before I completed the axe.
Yeah, you were bordering on like the mid 60s up to 68, depending on where you're at. And you
would do it primarily so you don't get that hit of the resistance loss. But I could do it. I'm like, maybe I died once every now and then, not often though, but I could do it. You can't do it in Path of Exile 2. You can't.
But you know why? Well, two things. One, Trials of Ascension hasn't, the Toda MOBA, which one is it?
Toda.
That's not out yet, and that is technically Act 4.
Which we're assuming is going to be the third way you would ascend.
Right.
Yeah.
I just spoke to Navali recently. Super hot, even if she's partially dead, partially not. One eye in, one eye out,
Sure.
I'd still go for her. Mm-hmm. One of those love relationships where age doesn't matter.
Okay.
Or being alive, I guess. But so that might change.
I think you should walk back the or being alive part.
No, that's fine. We're in like sci-fi RPG land. Everybody gets it.
Yeah.
Well, what? Like some like dancing mermaid with this like deadly singing voice just started like spinning around, and and that lasted way too long.
Way too long. Yeah.
Way too long.
And multiple times.
She's got a fantastic pair of tatas that just keeps showing up when if there's anything that's going to take too long. Yeah. You got a nice pair of boobs staring at you in the face. Okay, lady. Like, I'm not a fan of people when they sing at the dinner table or during board games. You know what I mean? Like, no, that's not, no. I like
if
music,
they take their top off, then sure.
Well, I'm a little distracted, right?
Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Right? It's like daydreaming, but in the present.
What are we talking about? You were talking about Navali.
I know. Oh, right. So there's that, right, when it comes to ascending. But then also the other thing that Path of Exile 1 has over Path 2 when it comes to ascending is you still are actually using your build. Sure, not with the traps and all that kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, you're still fighting the boss, right? And the traps aren't 99% of the experience, right? You can figure that out super fast. Like walking past the razor blades isn't tough. Like the actual part 2 Azaro isn't bad.
Yep.
Sure. Right. So even though it takes up time, it's not in terms of the effort you put into the lab experience, it's not that big of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
So the majority is still you using your build to fight. But when you are in Sekima, even when you're in the Trials of Chaos, you're not really using your build. There's so many mechanics that are working against you and so many completely random modifiers that you're only using part of your build. So in Path 1, even if you were rushing it and you were trying to get your act or your third ascension before the end of the campaign, the reason you could be so effective is by that point you have some good sockets and you're using your build to almost its full potential, just not fully leveled. And so you have this nice complement of everything you're using. So then you could be effective before level 68. You can't here because your build only matters in that boss fight, which yes, is the same as Path 1, except you have way more crap to go through.
Well, and
stuff that has nothing to do with your build, recovery rate, everything, like how the honor system works versus the crazy, stupid map modifiers of the Trial of Chaos. So hopefully this is just a local issue and the trials of the ancestors, which I am not looking forward to at all, because again, that's another thing where your build has nothing to do with anything. But hopefully at least that makes it another easy swoop in, right? Like at least the first 2 ascensions are easy ish, I guess.
Yes, they are easier ish. They're annoying. I played 2 and I was just like, I was talking to a couple people in 2121. For me, my personal feeling is just like, man, they really, really either don't like melee or they just don't play it, because Trials of Sekima, I don't care if you change it to where I take less honor the closer I am to something. The druid, when I'm playing as bear, is very melee, very close, whatever. It's also like, I mean, I guess up to this point, the only melee we have is slams, primarily like slower attacking skills. Try doing any of that kind of stuff when you're in a scenario where you can't get hit. You don't want to get hit because you'll lose honor. But yeah, my
you have to survive for a minute and a half.
Like I just want to run around as a bear and slam the ground, but it's going to take me half a second to 1.5 seconds to stand up and do the cast time. And I got 3 of those that I got to work myself through till I actually do some damage. It was so unbelievably not fun. And what bothered me the most was just that I didn't have time. I just wanted to play. And I didn't really feel like I got much out of it. And I was more irritated than anything else. And then I had the thought like, oh, I'm sort of taking up a lot of time here just talking about my week, but playing. But I thought, okay,
dude, that's what this is.
I thought I thought we were maybe still in This Week in PoE, but I feel like
I can still talk about my coffee in Costco. I'm still pissed. This is gross.
I decided like, okay, I'm going to maybe the bear. Let me try something different. I'll try and go to wolf. I had also never seen how you could respec ascension in Path of Exile 2. I'd never done it before. Like, so
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I've done it like 8 times already.
Like actually switched which ascension you were.
Oh, sorry. No, yeah, I've done that like, once.
I had never, because I guess because I just had to redo the most recent one, but I decided to switch. I was like, I'm going to go leave Shaman, go and try, I think it's Oracle or whatever. What I really wanted to see was the new modifiers that it added to the tree, right? And I thought, well, I'll go Wolf. I had read on a bit about what people were doing with Wolf. So I thought, okay, I'll set this up. And I still don't understand, especially in beta, why they don't make it easier for me to respec. And I'm not talking about like, I got to get gold to respec. No problem. I can do that. But supports, skill gems.
Right. I have a note in there
fucked.
too. Like
you're so screwed.
There's no room for exploring.
No, not at all.
And that should be exactly what the campaign is for, especially because enemies reset in the zones, which is the opposite of maps. So if that's the case, make it for a learning experience.
Yeah, I like the inability to buy support uncut skill gems, whether that's support or normal ones, has made it like, so I've swapped over to a wolf to test. I wanted to play with the wolf skills. All I have is skills with, in most cases, 1 support on each of those skills, because I don't have, that doesn't make any sense. I shouldn't be restricted to even being able to buy like some of the lower tier uncut support skill gems. Like, So now I have to play and I have to wait for them to come. It just seems dumb to me. Like,
but
you're in a
now
beta.
It's a difference between, like, sure, of course you should have to play to earn more 100%. Of this stuff, but you don't have the value that you would have if you weren't changing your mind. And I guess the point is, we think you should be able to change your mind and figure things out during the campaign, because that's when things unlock. That's when you're like, oh, sweet, this finally unlocked. Let's try this. Like, for example, I'll get into my build in a sec, but I finally unlocked Firestorm. And I'm like, I've been waiting for this the whole time. This skill specifically, for reasons I'll tell you later, or I mean, it can, because it's one of the only skills I've found that can consume all 3 different types of elemental infusions. Right? So I'm like, sweet. Now I don't have to have like a whole bunch of different skills to consume different ones. I can just have one. But I hate it because now that I'm playing, it vibrates my controller like crazy.
Oh yeah, I know
because
that.
Every single fireball hitting the ground, my controller's going to die in like an hour because
it gets stuck vibrating even though nothing's happened on the screen.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah, but that's stop. I don't think. Yeah. So anyway, like now I was excited for it. I spec'd into it. I planned around it. Now I don't want it.
Could you turn vibration off or no?
But then I can't turn it off just for that.
Oh, you should be able to do it for everything. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
that is actually a really good idea. But no, that's fine. I think they should actually disable that or give you the ability to control it because like I was playing with the bear. I was playing with Rampage. Love it. But your controller does not stop because you're literally
just put it on your crotch, man, and not even play.
The thing that bothered me about the playing with the shaman was I actually was really quite liking the idea of how the build would play, but it's just not fun when you're the comboing type things that they're getting into, like to have to build up these certain things and then you use the skills and then you're like, oh, great damage. And then it's one of those things like in PoE 1 where like for 4 seconds feels good, for 4 seconds boring, for 4 seconds feels good, for 4 seconds boring. Similar to like your minion instability thing too. Like I was getting that vibe.
I was talking with Erin. I'm like, she was talking to me about the different kinds of builds that I like and don't like. And I was explaining, like, I actually like a lot of stuff. It's just, there's not a lot in the game. Like, I love Flame Blast. I've always loved Flame Blast. But there's a 10-second cooldown for Flame Blast. Like, do you see how vulnerable I am for the 4 seconds while I'm waiting for my minion instability to redo? What do you think I'm going to do for the extra 6 seconds?
I think my favorite one that I was playing with on the Druid side was Walking Calamity, because it's just, you cast it and now the entire screen has got meteors and firestorm happening all around you, and it's just it's literally the entire screen as you're just running around, and it's very fun because the way
is that shaman or oracle?
Well, the Walking Calamity is just one of the lowest skill gems for the druid.
Oh, okay.
And so it's its own thing, but it's cool because you build, the only way to use it is to be full on rage, and then you start accumulating glory. And then once you have, so you have to build to make sure that you're always at full rage the way that it's calculated, and then you use Walking Calamity, and then you can just stomp around a bear and run around, and it just felt fun, but it was so slow. And I am glad that I came back and decided to try the wolf style, because I actually do prefer it. I don't know how well it will do in the end, but I'm so gimped right now to try and play it because I didn't have the supports don't work across, and it's not even like you can take a support and refund it and get a turn a tier 5 back into a tier 5 uncut, which no, I would rather pay gold for a lower tier 1 something.
There's got to be something available just to try things out. It should be like, especially if they don't have like the requested back from the Path of Exile one day, like a testing arena where you can just try stuff out. If you're not going to have that, you need to give us the ability to try it, especially because there's that huge conflict of how much time it takes to level or go through the campaign, and then unlocking these different skills because, this doesn't unlock until you're the end of Act 4. It's like, okay, if you're not going to do that, you got to give me enough resources to actually try it out, because if I don't like it, right? It's a lot. It's a lot of time to eventually not like something. Like, it needs to be, if I'm going to put this much time into it and end up not liking it, I don't want to regret my time. I need to be able to do something after that.
I have some comments regarding the league, which I can bring up afterwards, but how's your build been going? Like, what are you doing?
I'm loving my build, man. I'm having such a great time.
Still the witch?
It's awesome. So there's a few things that I discovered this week, but I'll explain my build quick. I'm just basically doing minion instability. And as I mentioned last week, there's that 100%, 104% minion damage that the witch has in their first 2 clusters that makes me feel obligated to be a witch when I'm doing minions, right? Now, this week, I found a way to test minion instability. I don't know why I didn't think of it before, but I went to the mighty gorilla Silver Fist in Act 2, which doesn't have any or much energy shield, right? And you can respawn right there, and it's aggressive, so it comes at you. It doesn't do any like dancing and teleporting. It's a good boss fight to test the damage numbers that you see on the health bar. And it took me about like 20 minutes to realize I should be only using 1 skeleton instead of all 8. But
right.
Once I went down to 1 skeleton, and I was at a stage where I wasn't really trusting the wiki, but it's a lot more trustworthy than it used to be. And not a criticism to people, like huge kudos to everybody that fills that thing out, because that's unbelievable. But still don't know how updated it is versus how fast things change within the game, right? So anyway, I used one skeleton, and I spent all my gold, which I didn't have much, so I had to be very careful how I was doing it, but removed a certain percentage of life from my minions, and then added hopefully like almost the exact same amount of damage on the tree, found places where I could allocate, so it was almost the same percentage, and did some testing, because you never know when something's a crit or it's not a crit, or like they had this buff on or not, or the gorilla did this big now it's red, does that have damage mitigation? I don't know. So you do a bunch of testing for a long time to see, and I confirmed for myself that minion damage does impact minion instability.
Sweet.
Which is nice. But then that changed my entire tree. Now on PoE Planner, it's fully updated and ready to go. So then I spent the rest of that evening fully planning out my tree. Now that I know minion damage actually does impact minion instability, even though it says only minion life does, now I can go forward, make my planning, have a great time. And as I'm leveling, I realized that PoE Planner hasn't separated the special oracle nodes.
Oh, the ones that come from
those, like,
the druid?
Yeah, those like, I don't know, 200 nodes or something that only the oracle can see.
Yep.
PoE Planner didn't find a way to restrict those unless you're the oracle.
Oh, so you see them?
Yeah, and I could select them. But there wasn't like a disclaimer or anything like that. Yeah. I'm sure it's just one person just doing all this work for free. Like everybody uses that site for their Atlas points for Path 1 and Path 2. And I think they have like 4 patrons, which I think is crazy considering how much people use it. So anyway, like not a criticism, but there wasn't a disclaimer. So I go through all this planning, and then I realize half my tree is Oracle only.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, I have some work ahead of me here. And I need to save up some gold because I'm pathing to places I don't have access to. But then it ended up being a really fun week of, okay, so the witch has 104% minion damage within 10 nodes. Like that's 10% a node, which is pretty legit.
Did you look through the Oracle ones?
Pardon me?
Did you look through and compare?
Yes.
I did
There's
too. Okay,
over 200. So out of the 27 nodes that I wanted on my tree, there was like 200 and something percent minion damage, including like minion reservation and then like ally presence stuff. And then there was even one really tricky one where it like gave me negative resists and reduced life, but it gave like a huge amount to my minions. So I was like, I was having some tough decisions even before I realized it was Oracle time. And so, but then I'm like, okay, so I'm getting this amount per node with this if I'm the Oracle, right? But the sad thing is I don't like any other Oracle nodes as a minion player. Like they really
are nuts. There's no way. There's no way. They're like the one
I have
that
to, for me
that?
to like any other node as an Oracle, I also have to do damage. It's not good for just pure minions.
Well, the one that follows it, the entwined realities, that one's actually pretty sick. It means if I take one of the big keystones, I can, in a medium range around it, there has to be spots where that works for you on the tree.
There's a keystone. Yeah. There's not one keystone that is interesting to me.
I think you should rethink.
I mean, I could take a keystone for fun, but that all keystones have a negative consequence that I need to consider. So I'll get into my build in a second to explain to you why there's no keystones that actually are relevant for me, with the exception of one, but it's also not in a place where that's relevant. But everything else is about damage. It's either about totems or crits, right? With the Oracle, there's nothing else that really benefits me. Whereas with the Shaman, I could get 120 spirit if I have no charms.
But you lose all those things. You like all the stuff you just talked about that the Oracle gets with the special can see these things. If you go the Shaman, you don't have any of that. Right?
Right. But then I get so I have, out of 30 nodes, I get 210 minion damage plus a few extra bonuses that come with some of those notables too. Okay, that's pretty strong, right? But that's in lieu of, so I get 100% damage in 10 nodes with the Witch, or in 30 nodes, I get 200% with the Shaman. Okay, so percentage wise, what else is that eating into, right? In terms of other resists or other opportunities, right? Like we're talking almost 20 more nodes, right? So is it worth that reservation? I did the math on Path of Building, and that's 2 minions to get that extra reservation node. Is those extra 20 nodes worth all of that when the rest of the Ascension doesn't really match my build? Probably not, but it took a long time to figure that out, and I had a lot of fun trying to figure that out. The Shaman has that extra 120 spirit if I don't use any charms. And I've already concluded that charms are almost useless anyway, unless you almost never get hit.
Yeah, some of the unique ones are great. Some of the unique ones are actually pretty good.
And then they have the adaptation, which is really strong because it's one on mine. So passive. But then it even includes physical damage mitigation, which is something that the Witch has a difficult time with, right? I mean, Erin was talking to me and she's like, man, crossbowmen. Hey, crossbowmen. I'm like, I know. I'm leveling. Yeah. 2 hits and I'm toast. And so then there's that. But then there's also the one about bonded modifiers, which the game doesn't really explain well. But at some point that's going to be super strong anyway. Really so cool. Like all 4 nodes there really match. And even if I only stick with the 3, like that's really strong with the Shaman, right? So I'm sacrificing the 104% minion damage from the Witch for the sake of a very defensive. It'd be like starting as like not necessarily the Juggernaut, but like starting as the Juggernaut for a minion player, sacrificing some damage for the sake of some really legit defense, but then you get 140% or 120 spirit just flat if that's what you're doing with your charms. And my minions cost 20 spirit each. Well, actually 25 because I'm going gigantic. So either way though, like that's big. That's 4. Right. So now I'm getting my offensive upside along with some strong defense, and that's worth it. But I ended up deciding to stick with the Lich. So I'm doing minion instability and I'm still sticking with the Lich. And that's because just the curses themselves, even without any focus or investment, I'm still getting on a boss. As I'm leveling, it's 15% enfeeble on a boss. As that levels, it'll get probably up to hopefully 20%, even if it stays at 15. A boss dealing 15% less damage, that's to me just as equivalent as that adaptation that I'd be getting with the Shaman. But then I can add a second and permanent curse, right? Which I could make offensive or defensive again, which is a huge amount of elemental resists, which is all I'm doing because it's all just fire explosions. So anyway, that's what I'm doing, but I'm adding zombies and I'm doing skeletal warriors. So that was kind of my week in terms of figuring things out and respecking. Where are you at with this character? I had a great time. I'm near the end of Act 4. I'm just on the last island.
Sweet.
Already talked to Navali and Hinekora. Got my Hinekora's lock, which very specifically this time does not let me see into the future, but it gave me 2 points. And so I'm having a really good time with it, and I've been playing around with it. The original intention was to check out zombies, right? Because the empowered zombies, as everybody heard from last week, got a huge buff, but then also a huge reduction in terms of right. Now I'm seeing, of course, that my initial reaction to it was well forethought, I guess you could say. Like it was like 3 to 4 empowered zombies is really strong. And even though the game doesn't tell you that they get more life, they do. When I'm on minion instability and everybody's got the same resist and same knot, when I'm rezzing everyone at the same time, my skeletal warriors and zombies, regular zombies, all die at the same time. But then I have these 3 little bit taller, slightly blue that take like an extra 3 minutes to die, which kind of screws up my timer, but whatever.
Is it more life or more resist, do you think? I guess it's probably more life.
I don't know, because the game doesn't let me look at empowered zombies differently. I can go into the advanced screen and I can see the difference between zombie and skeletal life, but I can't tell the difference between an empowered zombie and a regular zombie. But I had a really good time with that. But then I eventually shied away from empowered zombies because it just wasn't worth it. I was just, because I'm doing minion instability on both skeletons and zombies. And so I'm just holding down right trigger, which for me is my zombie skill. And I'm just, and then in a boss fight, I just ignore it and I just hit Frostbomb, because that's just elemental reduction, right? Resist reduction, exposure. So that's what I was doing. But then Papa Pratt came into my stream yesterday. Thank you, Papa Pratt, and started talking about zombies and empowered zombies and how they're OP, and was going through, and he was playing with Sacrifice, which, yep. Nice. And was playing with Sacrifice, which I've always discounted because the revive time, but they reduced the revive time for Sacrifice. Like, the penalty for using it is way less than it used to be, but it still didn't seem like enough from the patch notes, and I already discounted it without trying it. The thing I can't stand about Sacrifice is it's one of those spirit gems that it's required to be on both weapon swaps. You can't just have it on one weapon swap. So that was a big no-no for me. But then Papa Pratt came in and was talking, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to rebuild it. I'll give it a shot. I'll take a look. And so I went into Path of Building, hopefully that the math is all right. And I was checking out cooldown times and revive times and all this kind of stuff. And at the same time, I'm like, okay, so how's Papa Pratt making this work? Like, you need your power charges. You need this. How are they doing this and this and this and this? But that just got me on a thing of just checking out things in general. And one thing, and this is just completely my fault, my criticism to zombies is that it's never been valid in a boss fight. Like, why would I bother investing in this when there's so many other ways to clear? Why would I care about like sacrificing a quarter of my build to babysit getting power charges? And like, they're not convenient charges, right? So why am I going to do this when it's just for half the game anyway? Like, the most important battles, I can't even get power charges in a boss fight for my zombies. So why would I bother in general? So that was part of the reason why it was just easy and careless for me to just not care about charges at all. I got rid of my power siphon ages ago. But then, I don't know why I didn't do this at the beginning, but I Control F'd power on passive tree. And there is a notable, Justin, called Infusion of Power.
Okay.
And which timeline? Like, can I go to the bathroom quick?
Yep. Okay. Go for it. Go on.
Thanks for waiting. I appreciate it. So this node, it honestly, it saved zombies for me. And you know how sometimes I'm like, man, like they ignored zombies. They hated zombies. Like there was in like Path 1, I'm like, it's like they're completely overlooking it every time. You know what I mean? Like zombies were just not good enough over and over and over and over and over in Path 1.
Yeah.
And so in this one, when they make their zombie Path 2, I had that negative assumption again. And I'm, not being overly optimistic about it, to the point where I actually wrote my very first, as far as I know, first ever feedback before trying it out. So I posted, I'm like, I really hope like that this empowered zombie bit is well thought out, because zombies have been weak from the get-go and not worth using and not worth going around. Where is it? Here it is. Nope, that's not it. Where is it? Where is it? What's it called? Oh, that's
Infusion of Power.
Thank you.
I don't know where it is though, but it sounds awesome. I'm trying to find it.
There it is. Okay, it's just a lot farther north than I thought. So Infusion of Power. And this honestly, it saved my build. It saved all the tough decisions. Like I was having a tough time like, well, do I want to do this or do I want to do this? And I can't do both with the weapon swap because they conflict with each other too much. And there's no middle ground where I can only use 24 nodes to switch everything up, because now that you can have an infinite amount of the same amount of supports, you can only have one of each active skill. Like I can only have one zombie. I can't have two zombies. One does this on this weapon swap and one does that. So I was having a really tough time finding that really nice, comfortable middle ground where I was just like, yes, this is it. Infusion of Power. This is just a notable on the tree. It says gain a power charge when you consume an elemental infusion. Okay. That node saved zombies. With that node, you can use zombies anywhere you want. And isn't that, but in my head, I'm like, GGG. you smarty pantses. Like, we talk about their creativity, and it's like, for me, if you were putting me in charge of, okay, how do you make zombies valid for boss fights? I'm thinking zombies specific.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking corpses. I'm thinking whatever.
Sure.
Like, I'm not like, but this has nothing to do with minions, but because it's so easy to get elemental charges or elemental infusions, it's easy. Now it says consuming.
Yeah, how are you consuming
infusion. So I was already always using Frost Bomb because Frost Bomb has the generic elemental exposure attached to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing minion instability, which is just a pure fire explosion. Of course, there's the ignite that happens with Infernal Legion as well, right? But it's just pure fire explosion. So I'm adding Frost Bomb to the build, and that every time after it explodes, it leaves an infusion on the ground. Now I'm picking up these infusions, but I'm not looking at them. I just happen to end up getting them, right? Because I'm running around the arena doing whatever I can, right? But I'm like, okay, well, that's only one every like 6 seconds, maybe 8 seconds, right? My zombies have a 4 or 5 second cooldown, but it takes a couple seconds for them to explode. Then Frost Bomb goes off, and then that takes some time. And it's just, it's a process that's a little bit more than the numbers that are stated. So I'm like, I should probably get another one in there. Now, Snap is interesting. Because Snap says anytime you cast Snap, and it'll basically like remove the elemental, what's it called when someone's like burning or shocked or frozen? What's that called? Whatever, ailment. Remove the elemental ailment from the enemy, and you'll get an infusion of that type. Now, I don't know if it counts for things like Infernal Legion, where enemies are just always burning, right? Because that's just part of, it's like Righteous Fire almost, right? But also because my minions do so much damage when they explode, every enemy, no matter what, is always ignited after the fact. So that'll always give me a fire infusion. Now, when I'm mapping, after playing around with it, when I'm mapping, I have cast on minion death with Frost Bomb and Snap. When I'm mapping, there are little fire flames, which are the fire infusions everywhere. Like, it is crazy. So I have like 10 skeletal warriors exploding, right? And so then I have that, but then attached to that, so I've needed 1 jeweler's orb, which I don't know where they've come from. I've had 3 drop, and I'm at the end of Act 4. Like, they're nowhere to be found.
Yeah, I think they tied them into the Vaal thing a little bit too much, but yep, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Which I do not like at all, by the way. But so then after I did a jeweler's orb and I can have a third skill on there, then that's where I added Firestorm, because Firestorm is the only skill that I found that can consume a cold, fire, or lightning infusion, right? Otherwise, I would have to do one that can only consume a cold infusion or only consume a fire infusion. And I could. So this is the one keystone that I think could work for me. It's Equilibrium or something like that. What's it called? Elemental Equilibrium. In Path 2, it's all about infusions. So it just like a cold infusion turns into fire infusion, or a fire infusion turns to lightning, or lightning turns into cold, right? That's like the only one I could use, but it's way in the top left. And I'm already taking all the minion nodes I want there because they're all good. There's not just one notable. So It's one of those where, like you were saying with the Oracle, if I took that one, which would be the only relevant keystone that I can find for my build, I'm already taking the nodes that I want there because they're all good. I'm not like taking a bunch of fluff just to get to one. So anyway, because the cold infusion from Frost Bomb only shows up once every 6, 8, whatever seconds, I added a second one to there, but then I wanted that one skill to trigger instead of having something like Frost Nova and then needing some like a fire skill like Fireball as well. Then I need more links and more sockets. So this way I just have Firestorm. But Firestorm, unfortunately, is visually like, and my controller's like, because of all the vibrating, but it's worked wonderfully well. In a boss fight, with just one boss fight, like I just fought Monkey Guy. What's Monkey Guy's name?
Navarro's little pet.
I never actually realized that till this time, though it's only my second time fighting him. Yama. I power charges nonstop.
You know, really?
Like it was nonstop, like so much so that I'm having to pay attention to my zombie counter. So I'm holding right trigger, which is for zombies. And I always have 10, which means I don't even think they're exploding. I think I'm making more before they even explode, which is actually bad. So now I need to add Feeding Frenzy to it, because Feeding Frenzy means they take, I mean, at level 3, they take 15% more damage instead of 20% more damage. So they'll die faster, but I actually need that. But that's how that one node, and all I needed to do was 1 gem socket. Like, I don't have to change my build at all. It's just cast when damage taken and 3 gems. And I have power charges for the rest of my life.
That's awesome.
In a boss fight where there's only one boss. It's absolutely awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
So, but I only discovered that last night. So I stayed up which is why I'm having super crappy coffee, because I stayed up till a stupid hour last night, making it all work, and then actually wanting to play with it. Fun. But then I had a really good Path of Exile week. I hate the league mechanic, which you want to talk about. But ignoring the league mechanic and just going through the campaign, so fun.
I know, it's just the problem is
there's still a lot of stupid stuff in the game, but
it's just that the league mechanic provides so much strength early on, like the ability to get all of your sockets up to 3, to get all of your items.
I haven't seen one of those. I haven't seen one.
Yeah, but you're not doing the content. You literally have to do the content.
No, I am forcing myself to do the content. I'm just hating it.
You haven't seen any of the socket ones? Because that's crazy. If not, I had a lot of them, not a lot of that one. I had way more of the Regal and Exalt ones, but I did have enough to get any of the skills I wanted 2 to 3. Granted, that was during the campaign, and now I'm screwed when I wanted to respec. The thing with the temple, it's exactly what I thought it was going to be, which was a flashback to whatever that league was where we did the same type of mechanic way back in PoE 1 that I hated as well. Synthesis. It's not. They've made some changes to it, but Jesus, I don't like to. I don't like to say that I agree on them being rushed, but it does not feel like they properly played it before it came out, because that temple gives you 0 information, like actually none. And I was thinking in my head, I'm like, this is supposed to be core. Like, all the stuff we're doing right now in some form is going to become core. The process of building, I thought it was so cool because the process of building it was pretty fun. I get the idea, but man, having it just like poof random rooms, and you have no idea. Like, it makes them a different version of green, but you don't actually know what helps another room. Why am I like? I'm just playing a game where I'm just moving it around until I see the numbers go up. That's it. And then I'm trying to put them in the right positions.
Okay, wait, after you apply something, you can change it?
No. But when you're putting the room in, it'll tell you in green things, and then a brighter green. And when you put it in that one, something is leveling up. One of the rooms is leveling up. But I don't have any understanding of why or how. Like, what's the best way for me to make? Now, I'm sure there's someone online who has figured it all out, and there's some proper way to build a temple. It is not intuitive at all.
Sure.
It then deletes your shit when you're done. And now that I'm into mapping, I'm like, what do I don't need a Regal. I don't need you to, I'm about to take an Exalt one from, well, at least you can turn it into currency now. They did fix that. So if I get an Exalt one, I can just turn it into an Exalt, which is great. But it is just more time consuming than it's worth in mapping. And my biggest problem though is just how poorly it is to play. Like, there's nothing that makes any sense to me at all. And also, I think we talked about this last week, I still can't believe that I can activate or run over the thing and have no clue what it just said. Because if I kill the mobs in the thing and it instantly just goes, I'm like, what am I at 4 of 6? Like,
you should have to click on it just to get like a box. Like, this is a box. Or keep it up
for a little bit, like as it fades away, because I can't even see what they are. But I think the idea behind it is fine. Like, it's kind of fun, but I don't know what I'm going toward. Like, the first time I fought the little architect's pet or something, I don't remember. It was cool. I did a boss fight. The next time I load up the temple, I'm like, they deleted my entire temple. How am I supposed? What is the method that I'm supposed to do to get to the end? Because they just keep taking away my stuff.
Or why
I
do I
probably
care?
just don't understand it, but.
Well, maybe, but it's the game's job to make you understand, to make you care, to let you know what your motivations are supposed to be, and not through like 80 pop-ups of dialogue. Oh, so back in the day, blah, 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 blah. Oh, well, like, I can't tell you. I'm going through Act 4, and I'm like, B, 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 B,
Yeah,
B. Like, there's got to be like, let me just hold B and skip all this dialogue. Like, I get all the work that goes into it. I get the lore and I actually care. But when I sit down to play a game, I sit down to play a game. Like I'm in a different, when I feel like reading a book is when I feel like learning about lore. And so you got to find a way to teach people about your league mechanic without needing to read them a book. You need to be able to just give them a pop-up. Like, you know, like you hit like down on the right analog stick or something and it shows you your details. And it's like, oh, this sucks. But okay, I'll read through it just this one time so I know what's going on. Like, I agree that the temple. So 2 things. I hate league content that takes me out of my experience. And I hate league content that makes me like, okay, stop, check. And I got to look at the map. Okay, where am I? Like Alva's Temple was so frustrating before in Path 1. And it's the same thing basically this time. Because you got to, okay, I did this room, check. Where's the map? Okay, now I got to check. And I like my favorite content. Now, this is just a personal thing. It's not necessarily a criticism. It's just a criticism in terms of my personal preferences. But I like content like strong boxes or what are the unique enemies that show up? Warlords? Not
Rogues?
warlords. What are they called? Yeah, the rogue exiles. Mm-hmm. I like content, even like a good controlled abyss. I like content that keeps me in the map. Just keep me in the bloody map. Stop making me go places.
Well, I think even more importantly, though, keeps you in the map killing stuff. There's so much content now where I'm not killing stuff. I'm doing something different.
And so like as much content as they're going to add, when I get to end game, you know what I'm investing in? The content that keeps me in the game, which is, and I'm not talking like game like Path of Exile. I'm talking my map. And so this is just one of those leagues that will never interest me. And as it goes core, it will never interest me. Because I mean, how many years did it take Path of Exile to make the modifiers for your map impact the league content that took you to a separate area? I mean, you would spend this whole time investing in your Atlas passive tree for modifiers and everything. And then half of the game experience, because it took you to another location, your Atlas passive tree wouldn't even impact that. And it took years for them to try and correlate the two. And now they're doing the same thing again. So hopefully they have a plan for how the Atlas passive tree interacts with, you know, your mapping experience and makes it completely worth it 100% of the time. But one thing that they did do a very good job of with this one for someone like me, because I'm a right wall hugger, I go in and I don't want to check the map every time I kill an enemy or I feel like I've cleared a room. I don't want to always check to see where I'm at. If I just hug the right, I'm good, with the exception of the boss being available to me for fighting. If I just hug the right, I will eventually hit every room, and that's good. And as soon as I enter a room that needs to be cleared to get the benefit, it actually doesn't let me leave until I've cleared the room. So I can't just hug the right and then I miss a room because I've just kept hugging the right and I didn't clear everybody. It actually prevents me from going through the door. So they've actually done that really well. So I've actually been able to do the content in a fun, apathetic way. I'm still not enjoying it and I still don't find it worthwhile. But
I mean, they thankfully have fixed the issues with that, but like trapping me in a room and I had a bunch of crazy raving 4-armed apes that I couldn't kill. They were untargetable. They just ran straight at me. There was nothing I could do. And I'm trapped in the room and I couldn't do anything. There was nothing I could do. I lost the temple to it. Now they've fixed it since then. Really? But again,
how do you lose a temple? Do you have to die enough?
I had to, once you leave, it resets, or I don't remember what I had. Or no, I couldn't complete it because what would happen is I tried portaling out and then I'd try and run back in, but that room was locked off and I had to get through that room to get to the next room. But if I entered that room, these monkeys were considered mobs and I couldn't do anything.
So and now was it because of a glitch or were they just stupid mods or what?
Apparently these monkeys weren't supposed to come out of the cages. Like I don't know how that works. I don't understand.
Oh, okay.
I don't understand how it all of a sudden becomes a mob for me not allowed to leave. But I think the idea behind the temple is really cool. Like I actually think there is some power in it. It was actually super useful when I was going through the campaign. I actually thought this is great. I can get some my stuff all the way exalted up. I can get some of my skills with sockets. It just became less interesting as I got into endgame. I think they've made a bunch more changes. I haven't tested it since they did that. But I was playing with, remember we talked about that one notable where I could put a scepter on with a talisman, but there was the 50% spirit reduction. 50% less spirit. So I was playing with that mainly for, I wanted to see if I could still keep enough mana, still keep enough spirit with using that skill to get my 2 things that I wanted running, my 2 spirit gems running. But the benefit would be I could bump up my specifically mana regeneration, because for the shaman, mana regeneration also increases my rage regeneration. So I was curious if I could still make it worthwhile. It's not like I needed a ton of spirit, but there is a lot that you can put onto a scepter that I thought maybe this could be somewhat helpful. They introduced, now I don't know if I'm wrong. I don't know if I'm missing something. When scepters were originally in the game, like they came out with the game, we played them right off the get-go. Quality, I don't think the item either existed to put quality onto them yet, but quality didn't do anything on wands and scepters.
Yeah, they came out with a separate item for them.
Which they have now. It's the artificer something or whatever it is that allows you to put quality onto wands and to scepters. And unless I'm missing something, quality on scepters increase the spirit. Am I thinking that up?
No, I've never used them.
So you've used scepters.
Yeah, but I've never improved the quality of anything. I don't get enough of them. And then I changed my mind on something. So
that's actually another reason why the Vaal thing's nice, because you can make quality onto stuff. Getting off 20% quality is nice. But quality on a scepter, I swear to God, last league, quality on a scepter, because I was using them, increased the amount of spirit. Because what else would it do on a scepter? The scepter doesn't do anything except provide spirit and then stats. It's not a weapon. There's no damage to it or whatever.
Right.
So what else would it increase? So I'm a little bit annoyed because I had thought that when I qualityed this particular scepter, it would get me up to enough spirit. I ended up being 2 spirit short with the scepter, but I couldn't understand why from 0% to 20%, the mana never, or the spirit never increased on the scepter. And if you go in game and click on quality, they don't even talk about what quality does to scepters or wands. It's weird because I feel like they've reverted back to what it was in 0.1, because I am so certain that in 0.2 or 0.3, I could quality, I don't remember wands, but I could quality scepters and get something out of it. And in my head, I'm going like, how have you guys introduced the artificer, which allows you to quality both wands and scepters, but then in the quality write-up, you don't even say what quality, you talk about what quality will do to martial weapons, what quality will do to armor, but it doesn't say anything about scepters and saves. All that bothered me about it was that it just seemed very PoE 1-ish. Like,
yeah,
we're not going to update
RUSHEDD.
Rushedid. But yeah, I just was like, I'm certain you guys have done this. And and if you haven't, why is there an artificer orb? Why is there an orb that allows me to put quality onto the wand and the scepter and it does nothing? Which I know it did that in the beginning. I remember that because being like, what am I qualitying this for anyway? But yeah, and it really irritated me because it screwed me over. But then talking about quality, there's some skills with controller when we hit down on the, what is it, the left thing to see, is it left or right, where we can see what quality will do for a skill, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know. I don't know which one it is, but I know what you mean. But the more info screen.
Basically. Have you noticed that some skills don't show what quality will do? So that
100%.
And I'm like,
some skills don't show anything.
I'm like, but how do I know? I actually thought what they did this league with the, I don't know if it's specific to controller, but where you hold down X to bring up the information and having all the little tabs on the right hand side. I don't remember that at all before. I still haven't seen that. I was showing Logan it and he was like, wow, that's actually awesome. I'll have to show it to you later what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But it is really useful. And it literally in one spot has all of the little tabs, all the things that are related to that skill. And you can cycle through them and move through the different damage types or whatever.
I wrote up 2 bug reports this week about there not being proper information for skills. So I
wonder what's in there. I wonder, we'll have to see, because I'm curious if there's some more information in that particular spot. But anyway, my playthrough has not been the greatest of weeks, but I yesterday decided, I'm like, all right, after I had my little bitch session with you, I'm like, all right, let's try and switch it up. I am really, really liking the playstyle of the wolf better than the bear, which is too bad because I really like the bear. I love the thick, chunky.
Yeah, you like your big swords, but you also hate slow. So to me, the shape shifting for you is at that awkward. You have to pick one or the other. You can't have both.
You can't do both. No.
You're picking speed, which is vital for you, versus the big bear, which in essence is the big sword.
I wish that I could. I wish I had recorded it so I could show you some of the things that would happen. But I really, really, really liked this massive AOE tied with Rampage. I was having so much fun with it. The bear rears up and then just starts stomping. And what you could do with that with damage felt really good. But Rampage, I don't think they played with Rampage. It's, when you sprint, if you bump into a wall, you're kind of like stumble the sprint or it doesn't work.
That wasn't me.
That was me. Rampage is that all the time. So you hold Rampage and you're now moving at sprint speed. But like if you hit a wall, you get knocked out of it. If you get hit by a mob, you get knocked out of it. That shouldn't happen. That is my damage. I just use the skill that is supposed to do my damage. And if a wall is now taking me out of that damage type and I've got a 1.5 second cast to get back up on my fucking legs to do it again, it makes it not fun. Also, this is the part I really wish I had recorded for you. Sometimes you'll hold Rampage and I think the game actually like strokes in the middle of you hitting the Rampage because your bear will rear up and the camera won't move and your bear, imagine like the screen is the same, but your character is over to the left. Like my Rampage has started to move, but it's not following him. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden it jostles and it gets you back up. Like it's not, when you're going to add little things that we can't run past and you're going to put things in little hallways, a skill like Rampage only works if you're going to make me like phase while I'm doing it or something, because there were so many times where I'm like, I just did it. I just did my rearing on the back legs and I instantly get bumped out of it. Now I got to do it again. It wasn't fun. So the wolf is seeming more my style right now.
Yeah.
But
RUUUSHED. That's just rushed. Yeah.
Yeah. And the Oracle thing I think is really cool. I like it. The one thing that bothered me a little bit though was I don't know if I'm hopeful they go that direction more often. It's weird to me to take stuff on the tree that is specific to a class. I'm not sure on that one. Like I played around with it a little bit. It is really cool. It completely shifts up my tree, which is kind of cool. But also, I only get this if I'm the Oracle. Like
it has its pros and cons. I can't decide where I fall on it either. It's one of those where it couples you. It does give you a variety because, like for example, for me, there were 2 or 3 clusters that were minion specific, and I'm like, okay, and they. Even like one thing that I actually really liked about the Oracle is that there was, so some of my criticisms to the tree currently that date back all the way to the release is there's not enough connection points from like the middle path to the outside path. And so I find that I keep taking the same paths to get to, even if it's different clusters, I keep taking the same paths over and over because there's not enough that connects clusters to clusters. The Oracle has some really cool like Oracle only where it actually connects the clusters almost like shortcuts. And I'm like, and the clusters are even relevant. Like that's cool. I don't need to take 12 notables to go, or 12, passive points to go around. There's 4, and those 4, they're just not like attribute highways. They're strong nodes, high risk, high reward nodes, but cool. Like I actually really like that.
Yeah.
But the idea of having that many clusters only for one, I like.
It definitely makes those notables worth it for the Oracle, like taking that point. But yeah, it's
interesting because now you're coupling all these extra nodes. They're in lieu of other nodes on the tree. But then what else is, I don't know, like I had a real 50. It was a really tough decision for me to be Oracle or Shaman or Lich. Like, and so to me, that's well balanced. It is.
Yeah, that's true.
But you don't want to get to the point where you feel like you have to be a certain build because of the clusters that are available. Now, I didn't look for any other clusters. I don't know what else is available to it. I only looked minion, and minion wise, it was tempting.
Which
I
is
chose
good.
not
I guess that is
but I
good.
had to do some math on the side, and it was. So I'm curious to see what other builds, how they struggle with it or not, and I'm sure it'll change. But I don't know, like thematically, because they do care about lore. What other kind of ascensions can you think of that would be like a monk? I guess could have some sort of forethought or like meditation style skill that could do that on the east side. I'm sure you have one on the the south side of the tree and the northeast side of the tree. I'm sure you probably have one, right?
Yeah. I'm excited to at least get back in and try it now that I've made this switch, because I was done after I messaged you. I was like, all right, I'm going in shrouded. Like, this is not worth my time. But I'm enjoying the wolf play style so far, so we'll see. I don't think it's going to keep me that long. The thing is, like, there is just a relatively lacking amount of stuff to do in endgame right now, and which is fine. I still wish the campaign was shorter, because I really would like to try the new sorceress build, or sorceress ascendancy, but I just cannot bring myself to do the freaking campaign again. So
yeah, it's pretty frustrating. I'm curious. Because the shape-shifting didn't interest me. Is there a benefit to staying in one form, or are all the benefits for shape-shifting in general, or are there like wolf specific benefits, bear specific benefits, dragon specific benefits?
yeah, they all have passives, like just for being in that form that you get.
Okay.
And then you can, depending on what you do with the tree and stuff, get stuff that when you shapeshift or when you go to human form. I just don't. Take stuff that it's like when I'm shapeshifted, I'm getting a benefit, but not when I'm changing between. Because I tried early on to be like, oh, it's cool, I'll swap between a bear to a wolf, blah blah blah, do this. You can't. Like, it just doesn't work. There's not enough skills. It was too annoying to try and go into human form, which was, I think, for me, the biggest sad part of all of it was like I looked forward to the human to bear sort of play style of being both and swapping between the two. It just doesn't work though. The human side was too slow. They're all slow. So yeah, I don't know.
But there wasn't anything that's like when in wolf form. It was always when shapeshifted, right? It was always generic. So are you finding that you're staying as a wolf specifically because of the movement speed, or are you just enjoying the skills more? Because I could kind of picture the whole druid thing not being about the form you're in, but about which skill is which. So, X is one skill, Y is one skill, and who cares what form it is? It's what the skill does.
Yeah, well, the skill will change what form you're in. So for me, when I was playing the bear, I stayed as the bear because I could make it quite tanky and I liked it, and I would use pounce to just jump around as the wolf. Now that I'm playing as the wolf, I'm just staying as the wolf. I'm moving faster. It feels like a faster play style, which I like a little bit. The bear, I feel like it just needed a tiny bit more speed, and then also the combination of the rampage was just unfortunate because so many times it didn't work, and I'm like, that is my if I'm not doing that, I'm just a sitting bear. Like I there's nothing else I'm doing. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm running currently on like 7 skills and 7 supports, so it can only get better than what I'm currently doing.
That's funny.
So I'm excited to get more supports for it and actually try it. And yeah,
sure, cool,
it's good.
Well, I'm glad you came back into it. Hopefully you still enjoy it just for the sake of your time.
Yeah, I'm hopeful that there is some fun to it, because there is definitely a part of it where I go like, I don't want to play, but then I feel like I need to play so we can talk about it. But I will get to a point where I'm just like, no, I can't put myself through this anymore. So I'm hopeful for the wolf version. I love freezing stuff and making stuff cool. Their animations are so good. Like the game looks so cool. I have really enjoyed that part of it. When I played with Logan, we were both druids. Buddy, you couldn't see anything on the screen.
I couldn't see anything with one druid.
Oh, this was even Logan. He's playing on the computer beside me. He's like, Dad, look, I mean, it's a little bit older machine, so it was not keeping up. The kid is like throwing fissures on the ground, and I'm rampaging around. It was just fire, just pulse, like so bright across the entire ground. I was helping with the fight, the Viper lady.
Yeah.
Try to say like, don't stand in something. He's like, I can't see it anyway, Dad.
Yeah. right. Funny enough, that's my restriction with infusions.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the skills that give infusion, they give chilled ground or ignited ground. Or I'm like, well, I'm not going to do that because I want to stay alive. I need to see what's up.
Yeah.
Right. So already it's interesting that their
visual clarity has left the building.
That's right.
Gone.
They fired that person.
Yeah.
The person whose title was visual clarity. They're like, no, not a part of the job description anymore. Off you go.
Seat Watch Walking Calamity, a brand new skill that they introduced this league, and say that they're trying to keep visual clarity as something that's important. No, you're not. I can't see anything. Literally can't see anything. But whatever. As long as stuff dies. As long as stuff dies.
Yep.
All right, buddy. Let's wrap this up. Merry Christmas to everybody. Hopefully you enjoy your holiday time with some family or friends, and we'll see everybody next time. Forever Exiled 3. What is this? 324? Forever Exiled 324 Christmas edition. I'm Justin AK Tags.
And I'm Tyler, Wrecker of Days.
Patrons will see you in After Dark. Everybody else will see you next week after Christmas in the in-between week.
Boxing Day for you Canadians.
Oh, yeah, that's right. What do you mean? Do they not do Boxing Day somewhere else?
No, it's a Canadian thing.
Oh, get out. Cool.
Yeah.
Look at us.
I think we have this conversation
Probably every
year,
Boxing Day. I'm like,
I think
what?
it's you telling me, then me telling you, and the person's always like, no way.
Probably that sounds about right. Patrons will catch you in After Dark. Everybody else, we'll see you at website foreverexiled.com. Discord's very fun. Pop in there, say hello. 2121 in game. Hit the 5-star on Spotify and Apple. Patreon, other ways to support the podcast are also down below. Merry Christmas.
Let's sing a quick Christmas carol. Okay.
Ready? See ya.
1, 2, 3, 4.